Glenn was going to go on with it there for a minute, and then he decided against
look
it.
at this. Back.
Oh, no. Oh, just caught it.
Who's in the 8 car at the moment? Is that Thomas? It is, I think. Thomas in the car. That was a
I was just expecting him to arrow straight off into that Armco. That could have been a monumental crash.
That'd give him something to complain about.
Oh, boy. It's what always happens in these restarts. Everyone's all pumped up. Cars aren't in their ideal race condition.
Who triggered that or how that all unfolded, but he was at a bad angle in pit straight.
Well, they were about 3 wide coming into there. There was a little bit of aggro going on, and it just seemed to unfold a lot worse. Now, oh, there you go. So a tangle with the Triple Eight car.
It's Andrew Jones at the wheel at the moment in that car.
Wow. Everyone catch their breath. Rick Kelly leading this one. Larry Perkins in second. Longhurst in third. Ambrose, Seaton, Kelly. There's a whole gaggle of cars running bumper to bumper here.
The 9 car with Noski at the wheels down in 10th at the moment. Stevie Johnson in behind him. Ricard Rydell next, then Thomas Maziera we saw.
Good to see car 17 soldiering on. That had to go for a wild ride across the gravel trap earlier in the day. Let's have a look at this incident on pit straight again. And they're bumped already, and they've bumped again.
Yeah, it's because Andrew ducked out from behind the Rydell car. And I don't think he realised at the time that Thomas was there, and he's giving him a short back and sides.
As well, there was room for Thomas to duck in front of the Smith's Trucks machine, because that could have been a monumental crash. Flat out on Conrod Straight. But the worm's eye view here from the front spoiler.
Looking under the back of Thomas's car at the moment, is it? I think it's the VX Castrol Perkins car. And that's...
How close can you go?
We're on board with Garth Tander for that shot.
Yep, car 8, so that was the car that was just in trouble before. Tander sneaks up the inside. And Shell Helix Ford wants to go with him.
34 car's got Whincup at the wheel at the moment.
Plenty of elbows out after this restart.
And this little pack here is so slow. Whincup's last lap was a 15.1. That's what happens when you tangle up with traffic here. Not only that, there's another side effect as well. When you're in these really tightly bunched packs, you virtually sit in a fuel cloud for anything up to 90 minutes. And it's not a very pleasant feeling, I can tell you.
Gap out at the front between Rick Kelly and Larry Perkins is 4.5 seconds. We go back down to pit lane. Darryl Beattie.
Paul, how's the first run been so far?
It's been, for us, just consistent, just hanging in there, and I think Gallery and the Jones car were a little bit quicker at the time. Couldn't quite hang in there with the CAD car, but I'm happy with that. Just sort of trying to get through the first stint and trying to keep as fresh as I can for a big sprint to the line.
Has there been any adjustments to the car and the stop?
I'd like to do loads, but no, we just, what we've got is what we've got, and hopefully the track will come back to us as the day goes on.
All the best for the rest of the day.
Cheers, man.
He sounds a bit downbeat, really, doesn't he? I think he knows that the car at the moment hasn't got the pace, and the comments are telling. I hope the track comes to us later in the day. Incidentally, we've passed lap 48, so the window is now open for the compulsory brake pad stop. One of the things that was curious before was that there was an opportunity for some people, I think, to have actually pulled pads on in that safety car period. Not 100% sure on that one, but if anybody was able to do that, that would give them quite an advantage depending on the way the afternoon unfolds.
So this is a battle for the lead, and it's a beauty. Look at this. Larry Perkins. Rick Kelly's about 4.2 seconds up the road from Larry. This fight for second is just incredible. Perkins, Longhurst, Ambrose, Seaton coming under increasing pressure.
Rick Kelly's extended that lead now to 6.5 seconds. Greg Rust.
Matty, John Bauer's been on the radio complaining of what sounds like something akin to a sticking throttle. And what they believe they've narrowed it down to is the spring on the actual throttle itself may be broken. The team have gone and found some elastic like you'd find in some shorts, and during the next pit stop they're going to try and fix this elastic around the roll bar and back around the actual throttle pedal to give it some spring back.
Well, this is the battle that Marcus Ambrose was looking forward to. He's got it served up on a plate here. locked in a fierce fight for second place.
Very hard to get it done on the inside on the approach to the cutting. Even with very slow traffic there, you give them a wide berth, because often it looks like you can get through the hole and the hole disappears at the critical moment. Marcus was looking, but he knew that there was no point with that.
Not sure whether Larry's the cork in the bottle here, but Rick Kelly certainly sprinted away. 6.3 seconds now in the Kmart Commodore. This is the battle for second. It's a five-way fight.
Pretty wise heads involved in all this.
And out in front, a young man with a lot of maturity behind the wheel, Rick Kelly, has a 6.3 second lead. Marcus Ambrose is in position 4 at the moment. Safety cars have played their part. We've had restarts. Flat out back into racing. We need a break. We'll take a breather. Come back to the mountain shortly.
We're back at Mount Panorama, where Larry Perkins, positioned second on the track, is the cork in the bottle like you've not seen for a long time. The cars are squirming everywhere as Jim Richards and Mark, in fact, there's Tony Longhurst behind the wheel, and Marcus Ambrose, who just moves up into third place in front of Tony, are trying desperately to unlock themselves from this situation. They're dragging up Mountain Straight now.
Yeah, Marcus being matched for grunt with Larry Perkins, and Marcus is going to find himself on the wrong side of the track here. Coming up to the right-hander at Griffins. Perkins will go through. Longhurst is side by side with Ambrose. He gets a touch-up.
Oh, that's not what you want. That's not what you want.
Well, Marcus was forced into a bad position then because Larry was so slow across one and out the other side. He got a bad exit, but Marcus thought, OK, we'll try and go the other way, but it puts him in the wrong spot for turn 2.
As we've seen so many times in the past, though, these big brutes of motor cars, they don't take an enormous amount of punishment and suspension, and how easy it is to break that that lateral locating device for the rear axle. You don't want to hit like that. Let's have a look at this on the Strathfield replay as they came up toward turn 1.
See, Larry locked a brake and ran wide of the apex, which made his exit slow, so corner exit speed was down. The fact that he hung onto it all the way up the straight is a testament to the grunt that thing has in a straight line, because the SBR cars are going to be pretty quick in a straight line.
He's got him. He's finally got him. So Marcus Ambrose moves up to second position. Will that unleash the hound, so to speak, on Rick Kelly, who now has a 14-second lead?
Yeah, they've all slowed each other up, and Longhurst has let Kelly go through. Bowers in there as well, and Seaton's dropped off the back of this a little bit. Seaton's last lap was a 14.2.
Don't make it easy, do they?
Did you hear that from Marcus? Before that was hard work. He had to get around all these guys who had no intention of letting him past. Now, Tony Longhurst has the job of getting around Larry Perkins, who we know has got a very fast car in a straight line, seems to be getting bogged down in the turns.
Well, this will tell the story now to see how much ground Marcus Ambrose can make on Larry Perkins. This will tell you whether Larry's slowing this lot up. It's a big queue of cars, though, forming up now. Look at this. One after the other. Let's have a look at how Marcus got in front of...
So you had to drive down the dirt virtually here. Look at the filthy side of the track here. But Larry's yielded. He knows that he didn't have matching pace, and he's left a gap. Marcus has gone by.
So Kelly, 14 seconds up the road now from Ambrose. He'll have his head down trying to catch the Kmart Commodore, while the rest of these blokes now have to find a way past Larry.
I've just been keeping my eye on the split times now that Marcus is free of that gang of cars there, and comparatively speaking, he's going okay with Rick Kelly's times. But Kelly, while all that's gone on, has now pushed his lead out to 14.1 seconds. Larry Perkins slots back to third. Stephen Richards, his teammate, is in pit lane.
128.
Well, Stephen, I see you hooking into a bit of pasta there. You've been in the car for a while. This is an opportunity to sit back and relax. How important is the diet and your food intake during the day?
Yeah, look, it's pretty important, Grant. I have a bit of a routine that I try and stick to throughout the course of the race, and this is sort of lunch, so to speak, and try and have a bit of fruit and a few bananas and just rehydrate before we get back in the car.
It's been quite an interesting day out there. Larry's back out there, and there's a fair sort of tussle going on at the front. What's it like to just sort of sit back now while you're trying to relax and see all the action going on at the same time?
There ain't nothing I can do about it except tuck into some passes, so it's pretty good from where I sit. He's doing a good job, though. He's hanging in there, and you know, it might take a while for him to get his line and length right, but he's doing a great job out there at the moment.
All right, mate. Well, good luck for the rest of the day, and enjoy that pasta.
Thanks.
like he's playing golf, getting his line of length right. A big move on the inside from car 17. Stephen Johnson goes past some of the back markers, and while we were talking to Stephen Richards, Todd Kelly took a bite out of another spot from Larry. He moves back to 4th. The order is Rick Kelly, Marcus Ambrose, 14 seconds behind Rick. Todd Kelly in 3rd. Perkins now in 4th position. 5th is Tony Longhurst. 6th is car 21 with John Bowe.
Well, Marcus Ambrose has gone about 4/10 quicker than Rick Kelly in the first split, so now that he's got some clear road in front of him, he's going to try and track down that Kmart Commodore. Let's check it on the second split, but I'd say Marcus is a man on a mission now. These leading cars, so many of these leading cars are well matched on fuel and pit stop strategy.
And because of the 2 safety car interventions and the way this has worked out with the fueling, the net position in the motor race is really no different to the lap scoring position in the motor race at the moment. So I don't think there's a lot to puzzle over in terms of strategy right at the present time. Remember that Murphy and Kelly came in on lap 36, Lowndes and Seaton on lap 38. The other key players that we're looking at, including this car here, came lap 45. Cars 1 and 2, lap 45. Car 11, lap 45. And Marcus Ambrose, lap 44.
So Murphy Kelly should be pitting around lap 69, lap 70. So too Lowndes and Seaton. The rest of these guys are going to go to like 78. Based on our calculations at the moment, look at this attack under brakes by the Aussie male Ford, John Bowe.
And now Longhurst as well.
Oh, this has been an unbelievable battle.
And Glenn's half a chance to get him too, because Larry's pace out of that final corner was down. Yep, got him.
Lost 3 positions from the last turn to the first turn, Larry Perkins. He is now down in 7th. Seaton moves up to 6th.
Air temps come back a bit to 19. Track's 30, so the track's remaining pretty constant in that same sort of realm, but the air temperature is varying.
You can see the more cloud cover coming in as the day progresses. When we started this morning, there was not a cloud in the sky. And it really is starting to come over.
These are uncomfortable stints for drivers here because you don't get a chance to play into the rhythm that you need to. You know, you're busy looking in your mirror and you're busy trying to plot away around somebody else. And all these guys are just hurting their lap times so much. It's just Christmas for Rick Kelly and Greg Murphy. They're bolting up the road. 14.7 seconds now is the margin, 1st to 2nd. And a huge number of laps to unfold in this motor race, lap 57 at 161.
Make mention too of car 021. There it goes right now behind car 17, Craig Baird. These guys qualified in 26th position. On the road now, they're in 9th. And our prediction corrected. They're holding down 13th, so they've made up a stack of space, Craig Baird and Mark Porter.
Hi to everybody in New Zealand, and the V8 Supercars are coming your way later this year for another exciting round at Pukekohe, which is always tremendously supported by the Kiwis who love the category. And you're going to see another bumper show next month when we turn up, and looking forward to getting to Auckland again.
I was talking to Craig Baird earlier in the week. He said the funding is in place for this team to progress to a full blueprint spec VY Commodore for next year. And the Kiwis have got plenty to be proud of. These guys did a very good job. Sandown 4 weeks ago, they had a lot of pace until they were taken out in a shunt. And they've repeated that form here, running inside the top 10.
Isn't that a great shot?
Isn't it just amazing? It's breathtaking. You see it 100 times over, 161 times over, and you never get sick of it. Time to catch up with Jason Bargwanna in pit lane. Have you got us, Barks?
Yeah, g'day guys, how you going?
Oh, pretty good. You've had your hands full today.
Oh, yeah. It was all happening for a bit there, but yeah, it's a bit frustrating. I suppose the car was quite good actually, and it's just the way it goes.
A few guys have had their say on what happened at the top of the mountain. What's your read on it?
Oh, well, quite simply, I come over the top of McPhillamy right behind David, and I think it was David in the car, and he had a bit of a moment just as we got to the middle of McPhillamy, and I got a really good run on him coming into Skyline, so I moved to the right. I'm not sure if David saw me or not, but he started to come back across, and obviously hard on the brakes down the inside, and it just 2 into 1 doesn't go.